Capital City Podcast. I'm your host, Capital J, alongside my main man,
DL Glass.
And today, I was sitting around thinking, what do you do when you with it and what you with ain't it no more? I got that from The Simpsons.
How you tell her? Baby, I ain't with it no more.
Well, tonight I'm thinking from a consumer standpoint. We talked about, rappers aging out. But what happens when the consumer ages out?
Gee. You're right.
I mean, this happened over and over again. Normally we start where? At the beginning, right?
Absolutely.
This time we're going to start at the end.
Okay.
And go all the way back to the beginning.
Okay. So we ain't starting with bell bottoms.
No, we ain't gonna start with bell bottoms, but we'll get there.
Okay.
Now, today, the way that music is today, the way that it's made, I would argue that it goes back to when you hear of a throwback party today, like we throwing back to the 90s. I remember when throwback parties were the 60s, the 70s, then the 80s. Now they're throwing back to the 90s and the 2000s, the early 2000s.
Right.
That's throwback music. Well, what's the difference in that music and today? Like, to even create the need for a throwback party, that means that today's music has to not be satisfying a certain demand to create the need for a throwback party. And since people are throwing back, that means something changed.
Right.
There's something that they missed that they're not getting today. So we're going to have a throwback party. People who are at that throwback party are folks that used to be with it.
Right.
And what they with ain't it no more. So with that intro, with, to start the thought process, well, what's it today? Today, what's it is being a thought. I mean, we just gonna keep it real. The majority of female rappers promote sexual promiscuity. They speak down on love.
Right.
They never fall in love with them. You'll hear that over and over again from these girls.
Shawty said I'll spend $500 before I look like a fool.
Right.
What?
What's today? What's it? Doing drugs, doing hard drugs. That wasn't in.
Right.
Having unprotected sex is in. That wasn't it back in the day.
Do they still sell
condoms? They still sell them.
God.
But nobody's promoting condom usage.
Right.
Being sweet towards a woman. Like when you think about 90s and 2000s, if you're gonna throw back to that era, this is the youngest generation that is looking for throwbacks.
Right.
They're trying to throw back to an era when you could dedicate a song to somebody on the radio. They're trying to throw back to an era where the female artists were role models. Good role models.
Right.
You think about 90s, any of them chicks from the 90s. Let's take, like, even if we go all the way up to Ashanti. Ashanti didn't make any songs about how wet her stuff was.
Not raw.
Right. She, they were still talking about, being cute and sweet. There was a certain level of innocence that was lost. So those people who like that music, today's music is not satisfying them.
Right.
So if you're in that age group where you're longing for like even a Nelly and cats like that, that fun type of sound, you know, dudes used to rap about their white T-shirts. Like that's a long time ago now.
Absolutely a long time ago. To go back to the women part, I remember when Lil' Kim came out with her raunchy raps. It was such a blow, like, whoa.
Right.
But I'm going to turn it down if certain people come. Now, my P.
Every song, like Lil' Kim, she did, what was the name of that song? Big Mama Thing.
Right.
I used to be scared of the, now I take lips to the, handle it like a real Heather Hunter, Janet Jack me, take it in the butt. That's every woman.
Now.
That's every woman now.
Oh, girl said a thing red and her booty hole brown.
Well, why do I get a phone call in the middle of?
It's important, man.
No, it's not. Now,
you heard what I said though.
Yeah,
she said it's red, it's pink.
Right. We're at the raunchiest state ever right now.
Yes.
And if you grew up on music that was happening 15 years prior, it wasn't that raunchy.
Right.
And you are now in the place your parents used to be.
Right. Absolutely.
They don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
Because some of these people just in their 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And they still feel like they with it.
Right.
But when they leave the house, they're not going to let dudes do the stuff that these girls talking about to them.
Right.
That's for these late teens, early 20s. They promoting this lifestyle. And every step along the way, every 8 to 10 years or so, a change happens that take you out of your comfort zone with this music.
What's next?
I don't know what's next.
What can be next?
But we're gonna rewind. Now, this same era that people are throwing back to, the 90s and 2000s, that's the era when lyricism wasn't such a big deal anymore. And the people before that wanted you to throw back to the 80s, they wanted to hear lyrics. They felt like the craft was taken more seriously. It was more hip hop. It was more sample based before then.
Right.
But what you was with went out the window during the era of Nelly, Ashanti, and all of them. You see what I'm saying?
Right. The 90s made you stop dancing.
It happened by the late 90s.
Yeah.
You know, the dance part was out because the tempo had slowed down.
Right.
Now I said we are gonna start, today, but let's go back. Now we're gonna skip back.
Okay.
And we're gonna talk about how these separations started happening and when they started happening. Okay? When hip hop came, we still celebrating 50 years, so a lot of what we're talking about is talking about the span of hip hop. The early days of hip hop, what they were doing was an offense to the people that came before them. Entertainers before them, they had to learn how to sing. They all dressed alike. And, performance was different than cutting and scratching records and talking on the mic. And they weren't with that. And here comes hip hop. Something different. It's for young people and anybody over the age of 25 or 30. They weren't with that.
Right.
Because they came out in the era of, I'm going to the club. I'm putting on my church clothes.
Yes, sir. Shirt hanging in the back seat.
And all of a sudden, hip hop happens. They go to the club in sneakers.
Right.
Dancing on the floor. What is this?
Hit the voice, man.
What is this? Y'all come to the club messing things up. Everybody dancing around on the floor, got sneakers on. What is this? I ain't with this. And those people who did that, this the generation of right?
Yes. Absolutely.
But little did they know it was gonna change before you knew it.
Right. Right.
And when it changed, what is this? The DJ ain't cutting up. This ain't no disco track going. They ain't said or none of that stuff. They just rapping.
Right.
On some electronic drums. What is this? Things changed, and those people, as consumers, were no longer satisfied with the direction things were going.
Mm-hmm.
Melle Mel has always kind of been, I don't think he's ever been satisfied with the direction hip hop was going after it left his era.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he's a prime example of this type. He's an artist, but there were plenty of consumers in that age group too.
Yes.
Who were there, like they're 17 years old. If you're 17 years old, 1972, do you like the direction hip hop is going when it's 1985, 86, 87?
Right.
But to the people who love that era started to end around 93. I think Wu-Tang was kind of the end of that era, the golden age, where you had the samples, cutting and scratching, all that stuff, the emphasis on lyricism.
Well, I think that those people that you were talking about, 17, 18, around the early 70s when hip hop finally started getting commercialized a little bit, a lot of them, they left when that era left, because they didn't even make it to the Wu-Tangs and all of that stuff.
Because it no longer satisfies what you into. Because they still had a little bit of that disco in them.
Yes, that's
a little bit of the, these people didn't just grow, they didn't grow up on hip-hop music.
Right.
They grew up on R&B.
Right.
Hip-hop incorporated R&B. When hip-hop became its own thing, those people, the fans, you lost a certain portion of the fans.
Absolutely. I was surprised at that because I was like, you around that age, and hip-hop is so new around that age, and I can't even have a hip-hop conversation with a lot of those people because they were detached. Like you said, they were still used to the R&B and the soul music. And
you got to remember, this is the era we're talking about where it was such a New York art form that a lot of people from 73 to 1980, or even 1983, from 73 to 83, anybody who was involved and who liked hip-hop that wasn't from New York, hip-hop wasn't their everything.
Yes.
Hip-hop was just part of the other stuff that they listened to.
Right.
So they was still digging Luther Vandross and War and all these other records too. Roy Ayers, Parliament Funkadelic.
Right.
They liked all that stuff. And then hip-hop too. By the 80s, you could just be strictly a hip-hop fan. And you don't even have to get involved with the R&B.
Right.
If, outside of New York.
Right.
So, all of a sudden, they were with it, and what they with ain't it no more. Wu-Tang, I think, was the end of an era. And the next level, like what's coming next? The West Coast started having a bigger influence.
Right.
It's not like they weren't already on the scene. But, you have artists who are just as big in the genre as artists from New York.
Yes.
And that hadn't happened before. Hip-hop starting to go national. And that national influence creates different sounds. and you start getting a little bit of noise from the South, and they make music differently,
Right.
and as people embrace that through the mid to late '90s, people who are with that hardcore New York sound, they hate the sound of hip hop all the time anymore. Which I would say is why Jay-Z was able to reign supreme for so long.
Right.
He was a master of the art form during an era when the art form was leaving its home.
Right. Right.
And he gave you what you were missing.
Right.
And new people liked him, plus the purists or the people from the golden era. So he had both fans. But a lot of people, like people were starting to say, man, I can't deal with this new stuff. This is Master P's coming out during this time.
And let's
see
not
what I'm
forget,
saying?
Yeah, let's not forget, we got the NWA and the Ice Cubes. But when that tall Negro from Long Beach dropped, he changed it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a game changer.
Yeah, man.
Snoop was a game changer.
Yes, sir.
And which brought us the DJ Quicks and the Mac Dre's.
Right.
And all these other cats. Too Short and Ice-T had always been around. But for these dudes to be national now was a wake-up call.
Yes, sir.
And the consumer base started changing again. You see what I'm saying?
Dre, that's part of the reason why I consider Dre so great, is because he did that.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah, with that album. With that Doggy Style album.
Dr. Dre has been able to produce something relevant in each one of these eras.
Right.
He's different. Other people cannot keep up.
Yeah.
But here you have 3 levels of consumers that already aged out of hip hop.
Yeah.
And we just by the '90s, by the mid '90s, the people that birthed it grew up on cutting and scratching and performing in the group fashion at clubs. There's no place for them by the mid '80s. And then if you came up on that sample-based joint and you're sitting there trying to write clever lyrics and tell great stories like a Slick Rick, Dana Dane, cats like that, they're gone by the mid-'90s.
Right.
And that style of music isn't where it's at anymore.
Right.
Hip-hop is about the party, but it's not the same type of party. It's not an up-tempo disco party. It's something. You know what I'm saying? Puff Daddy cleaned it up. It's not raw and it doesn't sound like it's from the basement anymore.
Right.
Hip hop went corporate. And now you lost another group of people.
Right.
They're
over.
So then that goes on through the '90s. But even during that era now, you still have a huge New York influence.
Yes.
So you're keeping New York listeners involved. People like Puffy, Cam, Jay-Z, The Lox, Nas. They're all hot.
Right.
But then you get to the late 2000s, and here comes Soulja Boy.
Right. Early 2000s, really. The Soulja Boy dropped, what, 04? 03,
I think it was like 06, 07.
I thought it was before that. Yeah.
But even though Master P had already infiltrated the game.
Right.
But the South is about to take things over. And New York artists just not
They're
popping.
struggling.
And now you lose that crowd.
Right. And I think
on a national level.
Nas gave us foresight on it when he tried to do his thing with The Firm and Dr. Dre. Because that was like him trying to stay afloat by going outside of that New York sound.
Right, but
it didn't. Yeah,
you
saw what happened with that. Yeah,
every effort to change with the times doesn't always resonate with the people.
Absolutely,
But I'm saying all this to say that no matter what age you are, you always feel like you're in the midst of what's important, and you're on top of everything. What you like will go out of style one day.
Absolutely.
And it's historically has happened over and over and over again.
Now, do you think it's happening more faster now?
I don't know. Like wherever we are right now, like we started entering this. Like let's start with the Soulja Boy era. All of a sudden, hip hop was, they were doing all these dance. They had snap music and it was led to even stuff like Silento, Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nay Nay.
Man.
This is an era. Right. You know what I'm saying?
That's the name of
dancing era. Yeah, that's the dude's name.
I never knew that. I stopped listening to the radio during the snap music era, so I'm I can say that.
See, you see what I'm saying? You stopped listening during that era because guess what? Because your era was the one previous.
Absolutely.
You see what I mean?
Yep.
My era, my core era, was the one previous to that.
Right.
But I happened to be on the radio during the era that you love.
So you had to stomach it.
Well, it wasn't that like a lot of stuff was still coming out that I really liked.
Okay.
As a DJ though, like I don't DJ a lot of clubs now because clubs are for the young people. Mm-hmm. I like DJing parties sponsored by and paid for by people closer to my age range, so I can play the music I love.
Gotcha.
I put more energy into that. I'm not going to give you the same thing out of a set with Sexy Red and Megan Thee Stallion in it.
It's funny you said
that. I'm gonna give you. If we talking about some EPMD,
right?
Eric B. and Rakim, or even Wu-Tang, Biggie, Nas, Tupac.
Right.
I felt differently about those records when they came out. And when I do hear stuff I like now, I'm well aware that it's not going to be what all the young people going to love.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
So and I know what they want to hear.
Yeah.
But can I play that for 4 hours straight? And will I enjoy it? No, I don't. That's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And sit there and play that mess for 4 hours straight.
Right.
So, even as a DJ, my time for the young people has come and gone. I stayed there for a long time.
Yes.
I stayed in front of them for 20 years.
Yeah. Well,
but now it's but you got some DJs that can still do it.
Yeah. Right.
Like, it just depends on what you like and how interested you are in the sound of today. And the sound of today is always changing. Today will be tomorrow. Before you know it. You see what I'm saying? It'll be something else.
Right.
But that's the thing. Like, you become your parents faster than you realize. I remember when Run DMC, I used to listen to Run DMC, and I remember my mom said, "Oh, bumpity bump, they ain't doing nothing but talking." That's not because her era was the Temptations.
Right.
And cats like that. She come from the Motown era. But her parents probably like, that ain't Duke Ellington.
Right.
Cab Calloway was the man.
Yeah.
I don't know who this Marvin Gaye think he is. You see what I'm saying?
Sexual healing. What's that?
Right. So through and every step along the way, like no matter where you are in this, your time is coming.
Yes.
Your time is coming. Everything you love. And I see people struggling to be with things that are beyond them. Especially being in Greensboro. In Greensboro, you stay young for a long time because of the college scene. If you want to go out and do something, you're going to do it with young people most of the time.
Right.
And the young people had a little bit older mind because they had to mingle with older people. So they were forced to get a dose of the throwbacks in their stuff too, because the party got everybody in there from 18 to 40.
Right.
But you get to other areas and 18 to 24 or 25 is all there together.
Right.
You know, then the 25 to 30 got their own thing, 25, 35, and then the older people split off into their little groups, and they don't intermingle. But when you're in it, you feel like you're always going to be on top. You feel like you're on top of the world, and and the stuff you love is never going to change.
Right. Right.
Like, I was playing something by Jay-Z the other day, talking about, I don't wear skinny jeans because my knots don't fit.
Right.
Well, guess what happened for the next 10 years? Everybody was wearing skinny jeans.
Yes.
But he stood his ground. I'm not with that.
Right. Just like auto-tunes. Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that was another change. The skinny jeans era came in. And when the skinny jeans era came in, all you baggy clothes wearing folks,
Done.
they were done. They're like, I can't do it.
It's hard enough to find them now.
You know, I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know, but you still go out sometimes, you see dudes with a jersey on and big baggy stuff and a big baseball cap.
I be laughing at them.
Hey, man, I always say that you can kind of figure out somebody's age by looking at what they stick with.
Or they just got out. I was like, yo, bro, he just got out. Yo. He had to.
Yeah, but that's what it is the last time you look at yourself as being cool, that's the style you're going to stick with for the rest of your life. That's why when we were well into the 90s, you go out, some people wouldn't let go of their Jerry curl.
Yeah. Follow the drip.
And then you go out a little bit later, you see an old man with gray hair who still got a flat top.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? Because the last time that he was keeping up with stuff,
yeah. Yeah.
you know, he did it well into 35 years old, still wearing a flat top like teenagers. I'm still cool, doggone it. Well, everybody else stopped doing that. They braid their hair. He's like, I ain't with that.
Some things never go, because I seen a couple cats walking around with the slits in their eyebrows. Young boys.
Well, that went away. It just came back.
Yeah.
That's all it did. You see what I'm saying? And the same thing with skinny jeans. Like, the era of skinny jeans is coming to a close. People going back baggy again. But you know what? There's somebody that's about 35 or 40 right now. And they still saying, well, I'm still cool. And they're going to wear skinny jeans till they're about 55, 60 years old.
No.
You wait. I promise you.
No.
They're going to do it.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're going to do it because the last time they were cool and with it, skinny jeans was happening. So they're going to stick with their skinny jeans. People don't like to change. At a certain point, people don't like to change.
Right.
Which leads me to get to this part. Same thing with rappers. They try to keep up with everything that's going on, and then they get to a point where it's like, look, it is what it is, and this is what I do.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I'm not changing no more.
Right. Right.
You know, Jay-Z was able to roll with the times, but he's not going to drop anything that's slightly reminiscent of anything happening today.
Right.
He's not going to drop a tune with Stacey Red.
Nah.
Drake's been hanging on. He's been able to, you know, he's like, I'm still, because he's on the last part of his cool right now.
Yes. Yes.
But I think the next, whatever this thing turns into next,
Yeah.
this might be his last stand.
It is, because the young folks call him old now.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Interesting enough, I saw LL Cool J take shots at Jay-Z.
Took shots at Jay-Z for what?
Because he made reference to Jay-Z not performing no more, or not putting out new music. And he was like, I'm doing it, so why can't you do it? And I was like, stop.
Yeah. All right, let me tell you something. That's like, if I hit the lotto, you think I'm DJing another party? I've been DJing all my life just about, and I love DJing.
Yeah.
But the only, I will say this. I would DJ something else. It's gonna be free and for fun.
For fun, right.
Cause I want to.
Yeah.
DJ for money?
What's the point?
You know, what's the point?
Yeah.
And that's where Jay-Z is. What's the point of him trying to be relevant? All he could do now is ruin his legacy.
That's it, really. Yeah.
There's nothing left to accomplish.
Yeah. That's all he can do. Yeah.
You know, just sit back and chill and be the GOAT.
Right. Yeah.
You got nothing to gain by coming out here trying to prove your relevance to today's artists.
No, never.
I mean, LL just dropped, like, the new stuff he dropped is dope. But we watched LL come from, like, LL was able to roll with the changes. And then he got to that point,
Head sprung.
probably around Head Sprung. And what he has done since then has not been a deviation from the Head Sprung era.
He can't leave it. Like, what is he gonna rap about?
I mean, it's not even about what you're gonna rap about. The style and everything is like that was the apex of his evolution. Mm-hmm. Like, this is it. I'm giving y'all Head Sprung. I'm rocking with Timberland. He's the hottest producer out. Boom. I gave you something.
Right.
Well, you gotta think, this dude started out, my radio, believe me, I like it loud. Talking about his boombox.
Right.
So he rolled with the punches and changed as he was supposed to. Mm-hmm. The music went from the drum machines of the early Def Jam, Rick Rubin style of production. Mm-hmm. He went through the sample era. Mm-hmm. He did all that. And then he linked up with the hottest producer at the time when he was on the end of his cool. Mm-hmm. And that's what you still get.
Yes.
Nas the same way.
Yeah, because, all Hit Boy did was recreate the 90s for Nas.
Right.
In a faster way.
Right. And
That's
the
it.
stuff Nas was doing, like, towards the end, it ain't the same things coming out with halftime
Yeah.
back in the day.
Right.
But, he rolled with the punches as long as he could. And then he got to the point like, man, I ain't changing no more.
Right.
This is me.
Yeah.
I'm with this right here. That's his flat top.
Yep.
It's his Jerry curl. He got it, and I'm sticking with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ice Cube. Ice Cube evolved a lot through the years.
Yes. Absolutely.
He went through many phases. Lil Wayne went through a lot of phases. Mm-hmm. But once they reach a certain point in their evolution, the changing stops.
Right. Right.
This is who I am. I'm not going past here.
Right. Just like Gucci. Like, I keep throwing his name out there.
Hey, well,
he's still the same Gucci.
still the same Gucci.
Yeah, no matter who, young, old, it doesn't matter who he's on the track with.
Right.
It's
3 6
still
Mafia.
Gucci. Yeah, right.
Juicy J. Think about Lil Jon. Lil Jon has been around for a long time. But
You can't even say Lil Jon.
you get to a point,
Yeah.
and it's like, look, man, there's no more evolution in my sound. He got to a certain place,
Right.
and this, buck stops here. Everything you get from now on is not gonna go. I'm not gonna reiterate myself or come in no brand new version anymore. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling you, to all you consumers out there who are with it today, one day what you with will not be it anymore.
Right. And I think we kind of see that a lot more nowadays with somebody like Kanye West, who's always looking to reinvent himself.
He stopped evolving too.
Yeah.
At a certain point. And he went through mad evolutions.
Yes. I think he's trying something new now. Damn, this nigga ain't walking around barefoot right now.
Hey.
And I think that's a part of
where's
his
the music?
recreation. That's what I'm saying. I think it's coming.
We saw Pharrell do it too.
Yes. Yeah.
He's been through several. We've had several versions of Pharrell
Absolutely.
through the years.
From Rump Shaker to now.
But now, what
this
is what it is, man.
Right. Right.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah, there's no more evolution.
Yeah. Yeah.
I give Charlie Wilson was able to do it.
R. Kelly was able to do it for her.
but him going to him
Right.
getting that production
Absolutely.
is him saying, hey man, what I did with the Gap Band is not it anymore.
Right.
But once he became Uncle Charlie, that was the end of the evolution. He's still Uncle Charlie.
Last name.
There's not gonna be a Polo G version of Charlie Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's not gonna
Even
come
R.
out
Kelly,
with the
as
Drake
great
sound.
as he was.
Right.
Like it was a point that that style was done.
So great artists can evolve and stay in the game, but even they can only stick around but so long because as you age and mature, you get to a point where you're just not going to keep around trying to keep up with whatever fad and trends 15, 16-year-olds
Right.
are on top of.
Absolutely.
That eventually it will always get to a point where that's beneath me now. I'm a grown-ass man.
Right. Right.
And we seeing a lot of people get there.
Mm-hmm.
So which gets to where we are today. Let's say if where we are today, the people that helped get us here, the era right before them, would you argue that it is Rick Ross, Lil Wayne,
Drake. Yeah.
Drake? He's still here, but
Yeah.
but like the type of music that they were making is not what's happening today.
Right. Right. Even the artists who don't put out as much music, like Kendrick Lamar, I don't see him going away from what Kendrick Lamar was 10 years ago.
Right, and Nicki Minaj even.
Absolutely.
She's on the end of her cool, but she's still able to step foot in there, jump on songs here and there. But she's not what she was when she came out.
Right.
She has evolved. But is she gonna keep right on evolving to this next thing? No. You know, she's evolved to this point,
Right.
to be able to still be relevant right now.
And look at some of the artists who came after them, like your Kodak Blacks, Lil Durk.
Like it's only a matter of time for 21 Savage, Kodak Black, Lil Durk, all these cats gonna be yesterday.
My young boy just told me they old.
They old already?
He's 11, 12 years old, and he's not listening to YFN. Forgive me if I'm saying his
Lucci?
name. No, Melly, whatever his name is.
He just got out. He in jail.
No, but he has a little brother who is like 14, 15 years old, who's doing music now, who he's paying attention. And I would have never known about his little brother if this little 12-year-old didn't tell me. He was like, I don't listen to him, because I was like, why you listen to this game bang? I just heard the alphabets in the beginning of his name. And he was like, it's not him, it's his little brother. I was like, his little brother. So,
right.
Like that's what I'm saying. Do you think it's happening faster? Because like
I don't think it's any faster.
Yeah.
But I do know this, that huge radio success today, like back in the day, it meant that the artist was at the top and probably getting ready to stick around for a while. Yeah, when you huge on the radio now, like these people have been around for years already.
Yes.
21 Savage on the radio now, he's already been around for years.
Yeah.
And the radio doesn't break music like it used to. The radio plays stuff after it's already created a buzz and been through the hood and all of that. So they're not breaking music. So by these artists that are on the radio all the time are not the next artists anymore.
Right. TikTok breaking them now.
It's
Ice Spice.
Right.
Like, yeah. Like, no matter what.
Now Ice Spice is somebody like, she could possibly evolve. Like, we've been watching Lotto. Lotto has evolved already a few times. She's moving through she's moving through her evolution. There's going to come a time she'll get a certain age. She'll be like, look, doing this long enough, I'm not going to keep right on changing into whatever's hot today.
But it might be next year.
Could be.
It might be December of this year.
If Megan Thee Stallion don't hurry up and put something out, she's going to be yesterday.
Yes. Yes.
Cardi B has evolved since since Bodak Yellow came out. You know,
Like,
the Migos
but has
evolved. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she evolved into a more well-rounded artist.
In that regard, okay. Okay, I'll give you that.
As has Ice Spice, I think. And I got to put Coi Leray in there. She's evolved. Lotto. That's why I put Lotto in there. Like when you go from making strictly hood records and they get you in there with some other producers and you get national hits, you've experienced an evolution. Like these are songs that these girls, whoever was their original circle, would not have put these records out initially. Then you know there's some they're evolving in the game. But that radio success takes them away from their core audience. And they're one step further away from the cool kids. Cool kids tell you who's coming up next.
Right.
They don't care about who's hot right now, because by the time you hot right now, you're old in the hood already.
Right. You ain't never lied.
That's the biggest thing about the way things trend today.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're listening, you're getting older, and it comes up on you faster than you realize.
Tell me about it.
You know, so everybody right now that's running around talking about, you know, the booty hole brown, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
10 years from now, your kids will be looking like, you still talking about your booty hole brown. Don't nobody do that no more. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Hey, you on that old 2023, man. So get out of here talking about some old.
Yeah.
This girl is still talking about her booty hole brown. How old are you? It's coming.
Yes, sir.
It will happen to you.
Right. Damn.
Just as fast as went out the door. Booty hole brown it can't stick around forever.
Yeah. Damn.
But that's where everybody is right now. Everybody want to be nasty and raunchy as ever. And there is an expiration date on everything. So before you know it, you'll be like, this girl, like, there's going to be an AR one day, an A&R. Do you know this girl still sending me tapes? Was she trying to be a whore? Ain't nobody buying whore records no more.
Shit. the AI is gonna be writing it anyway. That's the crazy part. And 3 6 Mafia, the great 3 6 Mafia, hypnotized minds was more than what you thought. Because that's how this whole thing is being controlled. You know, we just seeing the early stages of it right now, but this thing is gonna have it so whatever they say and whoever they is gonna be what everybody's walking around.
All this vibe music, that's gonna go away too. Like right now, music is boring. Yes. It's short. Songs are short. 2-minute songs. Like that's just a trend. It's just like everything else. There'll come a time like, man, this dude's still showing up with 2-minute song.
Right.
And you're gonna be like, 2 minutes. You believe them songs? You remember back in 2020s when dudes making songs that were 2 minutes long?
Right. Why would they stop that time?
Right. It'll be over before you know it.
Yeah.
Skinny jeans, you watch. Well, like I said, they're already on the way out the door.
Yeah, I mean, I don't honestly see them that much anymore.
Right.
I know you see a lot more kids than I do. I don't really see it anymore.
Nah, they moving on. They going back to baggy.
I did notice something because I drive past a high school almost every day. A lot of the girls that I see look just like Aaliyah.
Right. Coming back.
Top and the baggy jeans.
No, you can go back and look at the old picture of the Temptations. The suits they used to wear, that's what was in style 5 years ago.
With the short pants. Short pants.
Right. Yeah. Ankle showing.
Yeah.
Skinny pants.
Right.
You know, now baggy's coming back. You know, things, hey, like I said, what you with ain't always gonna be it.
Damn. Oh, one thing a part of the culture that has never left, and that just shows you how much of an impact it had. Was Jordans, the Jays.
Jays never left. You're right, but which Jays is the thing?
The retros.
Like right now, I'm talking about the ones, for example.
Yeah, man,
I can remember a time when nobody wore ones.
Right.
And now they hot. I remember,
Yes.
like the first throwback Jays that I remember everybody really rocking was like the threes when they start throwing it back.
Retro.
Everybody was retro in the threes.
Don't say throwbacks with Jays.
Well, I'm just saying, I used to.
Right.
That was the first shoe that I saw re-released that everybody
right.
was rocking again.
Hell yeah.
Like, was that late 90s, early 2000s? Like, ooh, the threes are back.
Mm-hmm.
But now everywhere you turn, it's the ones again.
Yeah. All different flavors and colors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is a wake up call to all you young people.
Message.
You won't be young forever.
Yeah.
And to everybody that hates this era changed too.
Yeah.
Like right now, hip hop is not selling like it used to. They say there hasn't been a number one hip hop album all year.
And they're canceling shows because of low ticket sales.
Right. But that goes back to you trying to sell tickets to people who come from an era where you had to entertain them. You're not entertaining them, they're not buying tickets.
Right.
And the people who are with this don't have money. Mm-hmm. So the people who you can just show up for and rap over a track, over the original song, like they 15, 16 years old. They're not paying for a ticket.
Right. Right.
See what Beyonce did? She's selling tickets because she's performing.
Absolutely.
And she's performing for people that come from an era where they had to be entertained to spend their money.
Absolutely. And yeah, she's fucking selling tickets.
And she's winning.
Right. Right.
Now, that's what the performance is for.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes time for her to make new music, she's still able to evolve.
Oh, yeah.
The last time she dropped was another evolution for Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't like Destiny's Child.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't like Me, Myself, and I.
Mm-hmm.
Always something new.
Mm-hmm. Always.
Yep. She'll get to her Diana Ross moment.
Yeah.
And, I compare Beyonce to Diana Ross. Diana Ross came from Supremes. Beyonce came from the Destiny's Child.
Right.
They were divas.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
And Diana Ross was able to get away from the type of music the Supremes made. Mm-hmm. And she was, she was huge for a long time. Mm-hmm. And she changed with the times. Right. And then at a certain point, it's like, look, man, I'm not going to be Mary J. Blige out here, though.
Right.
And there'll come a time when Beyonce's not going to try to keep up with whatever's going on anymore. Mm-hmm. She hasn't reached that point, though, yet.
Shit, I don't even see Beyonce keeping up with. I see her as creating.
Yeah, she still, but a lot of that is because she still has huge influence. Mm-hmm. But that influence ain't going to last forever.
Right. Right.
So, use it while she has it. And a lot of it, she still looks good. She still looks young. Mm-hmm. She can, she can still relate.
Right.
But, Beyonce is not a young woman.
Right. Right.
She's about the same age Tina Turner was when she came back with her comeback. What's Love Got to Do with it? Mm-hmm. Stage, and Tina Turner was able to do it.
Yeah.
What's Love Got to Do with it is nothing like Shake a Tail Fella.
Right.
You got to evolve. But even Tina Turner, she did that all up to the 90s, and then she was like, okay.
I'm done.
Right. Beyonce will reach that point, too. Mm-hmm. And she got such a catalog now, she can perform for the rest of her life, and people still, because I've seen Beyonce live.
Yeah.
And I'm also due to seeing Patti LaBelle live, and the OJs, cats like that. Mm-hmm. She puts on a hell of a show. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Parliament Funkadelic live.
Okay.
So Beyonce is, she puts on a real show. But I've also seen, some younger artists go out here and drop the ball.
Yeah.
You know, they don't perform the same.
one
They don't-
spot.
They don't take it seriously.
Right.
So Beyonce's giving them what they want, so she can get people from the young people who like her latest stuff, all the way to the oldest of us, because she's putting on a show,
Right.
a real show, and she can really sing. That's another thing. You used to have to be able to sing,
Yeah.
and if, like we talked about hip hop fans, but as a fan of R&B. You used to demand that your R&B singers be able to sing.
Right. We don't want to hear you singing with the track.
So now you got cats like who's high right now, SZA,
Yeah. Summer Walker.
Shit,
Usher's still hot.
Hey, but they get
Yeah.
SZA and Summer Walker have gotten some flack for their live performances.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You
Right.
see what I mean?
Right.
So they don't satisfy people who are fans of R&B when R&B singers had to really be able to sing. They're a product of this new generation of music.
But the computer give me that little boost you need.
Giving you that boost, it sounds good on record, but
Right.
live, you know, you had to be able to do it live back in the day, and you don't have to do that now. So people who used to like that,
Right.
they're backing out.
Right.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
SZA's cool, Summer Walker's cool, but I seen them live, and I've seen Escape live.
Yes.
Like, and you would think that they're just a group of girls that put together that can't sing. Nah, it ain't nothing like Escape. They sound great. You know, you think about Color Me Bad back in the day, like whatever.
Yeah.
Nah,
Live.
nah. They try to show up boys to men. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, these dudes, they were serious.
Yes.
So these folks singing today, you know, who
Oh,
you gonna put? What's your boy's name? Rod Wave. You gonna put
Yeah.
Rod Wave on stage with
Yeah.
with none of these other artists? Like Chris Brown is probably the last of that era.
Right. Right. Breezy.
Right, Chris Brown and Beyonce. That's the end of the performing artist who will put on a show for you.
That's still making. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. You ain't never
Everybody
lied.
else is studio performers.
Right.
So you know, I guess we'll end it by saying, hey man, if you're enjoying this music right now, you better get it in. Because before you know it, what you with ain't gonna be it no more. And you'll be sounding like your mama and daddy.
How they sound?
What is all this bumpity bump? You ain't even R&B. That ain't rhythm and blues. They ain't even singing. She ain't even singing. All she just that ain't singing. Singing is Patti LaBelle. Now she could sing.
Sing.
Fantasia. Where's Fantasia?
Right.
You know? So enjoy yourself now, kids. Your time is coming too. You be like, she ain't even tell me what color her booty hole was. What is this? I don't even. How she gonna perform? I ain't never seen her hind part. She ain't even squatting or twerking nothing. What is this? How she calls herself a rapper? She ain't even gave no good head on the song.
Right. Damn.
What is this? He done came out. He ain't got no devil stuff on his shirt. Ain't no horns, no satanic rituals. What's going on? All that stuff is gonna be over with.
Right.
So your time is coming, just like our time came.
Over.
Yep. But guess what though? I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm still working. But you know, I ain't playing no Sexy Red where I'm going.
Oh boy.
Well, I might. If
they ask for
they
it,
ask me.
God knows.
Yeah, but see, that's gonna be embarrassing for me.
Damn.
I had to look out it, but I know. They asked for it. You know, I know, but they asking for it. They asking for it. That's what I got to do when I play that stuff.
I never heard the song. I just hear them talk about it.
Oh, good. Well, don't waste your time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try not to because time is valuable, man.
Yeah, you can't get it back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yes, sir.
It's Capital City Podcast. I'm your host, Capital J, alongside my main man.
DL Glass.
Trying to stay on top of things, but it's okay to get tired. 15, 20 years from now, there's a big dude walking around, he's still gonna have a great big Rick Ross beard. And it's gonna have painted black all on his face.
Oh God.
And everybody gonna look at him and be like, man, this dude still walking around here with that black ass beard.
Yeah.
Your time coming too.
Oh God.
Just know that. I'm trying to warn you ahead of time.
Right.
You know, what you with ain't always gonna be it. But you're gonna stick with it. Cause you 35, 40 years right now. You ain't gonna change to the next thing. You're gonna be rocking that Beijing beard.
God knows.
So do you. And we out.
That's it.